Hello dear children, welcome back to chemistry class. In our last class, we have learned what is a solute, a solvent and a solution. We have learned various examples of solute and what happens when it is added to the solvent water and what are the corresponding solutions that are formed. In continuation to that, in today's class, we are going to learn what is solubility. So under this topic solubility, we are going to learn what is solubility of a solute in water. In order to understand this topic, let's learn this with an example. Now look into this picture here. Here we have taken a beaker with 100 grams of water. So this water, it is the solvent. Now add X grams of solute into this solvent. So we have taken a beaker with 100 grams of water and X grams of solute is added into this water, that is solvent. Now this happens at a temperature of say T degrees Celsius. So here we have taken the example of sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is the solute added into this water here. 100 grams of water taken in a beaker. X gram of solute, that is sodium chloride, is added into water, which is the solvent. Now mix it well with the help of a stirrer. We know that when the solute sodium chloride is added into water and when it is mixed well, sodium chloride, that is the solute, it dissolves in the solvent water. So this X gram of solute has dissolved in water, which is the solvent. So what we get is a solution. Now add more amount of solute into this solution that we got. Then again stir it well. We observe that when we add more amount of solute into this solvent, again it mixes well with solvent, or the solute dissolves in the solvent and we get a solution. So this solution that we get is called an unsaturated solution. Remember that this takes place at a temperature of T degrees Celsius, or for example say 60 degrees Celsius. So what is an unsaturated solution? An unsaturated solution can dissolve more of the solute at a given temperature. So initially to 100 grams of water, which is the solvent, we have added X grams of solute, that is sodium chloride. Now again when we added more amount of solute into that, we observe that more amount of solute added also dissolves in the solvent water. So what we finally got is an unsaturated solution. So unsaturated solution can dissolve more of the solute at a given temperature. So now what we have got is an unsaturated solution. Now again add more amount of solute into the solvent, like how you see here in the picture. So initially we have added X gram of solute, that is sodium chloride, into 100 grams of water. All the solute got dissolved in the solvent. We again added more amount of solute into water. That more amount of solute also got dissolved in water. So finally what we got is an unsaturated solution. Now to that unsaturated solution, we are adding even more amount of solute. Say X plus Y gram of solute is added into the same 100 grams of water, that is at the same temperature of T degrees Celsius. Now stir it well. After stirring, we observe that even after stirring and mixing it well, we see there is a part of solute that remains undissolved at the bottom of beaker. So this means this part of solute has not dissolved in this solvent even after mixing well. So therefore, this solution that we obtain is called a saturated solution. So what is a saturated solution? A saturated solution cannot dissolve more of the solute at a given temperature. So initially that X gram of solute was able to be dissolved by the solvent water when it was mixed well. When we added more solute, that more solute also got dissolved in water and we got an unsaturated solution. So an unsaturated solution can dissolve more of the solute at a given temperature. Now to that unsaturated solution, we are again adding more amount of solute. So X plus Y gram is added to that 100 grams of water at the same temperature, that is T degrees Celsius. Even after mixing, we see there is a part of solute that remains behind in the beaker at the bottom. So this shows that this part of the solute has not got dissolved in the solvent, that is water. And what we got as a solution is called a saturated solution, because this solution cannot dissolve any more solute at a given temperature. So remember that a saturated solution cannot dissolve more of the solute at a given temperature. When you add a little amount of solute into a solvent, when you mix it well, we get a solution. So such a solution that has a very little amount of solute dissolved in the solvent is called a diluted solution. So diluted solution has little amount of solute mixed with this solvent. So if you add more amount of solute, the solvent is able to dissolve that extra amount of solute. Such a solution formed is called a diluted solution. But in case of a concentrated solution already has a lot of solute dissolved in the solvent. So if you add a little more extra amount of solute, the solvent is capable of dissolving it, but it already has a lot of solute dissolved in the solvent. Such a solution is called a concentrated solution. But in case of a saturated solution already has the maximum amount of solute dissolved in the solvent. So that is why if you add extra amount of solute into that solvent is not able to dissolve the extra amount of solute, and this solute will settle at the bottom like how you see here in the picture. So saturated solution has the maximum amount of solute dissolved in the solvent. So if you add extra amount of solute into it, it is not able to dissolve any more solute. Now let us see what is solubility. Solubility is the maximum amount of solute dissolved in a solvent. Or in other words, solubility is the maximum amount of solute that is taken in grams that will saturate 100 grams of water at a temperature of T degrees Celsius. Now let's look into this case which we have already seen. We have seen that when X plus Y gram of solute is added to 100 grams of water, which is the solvent here, we see that even after mixing, there is some part of solute which remains behind as undissolved solute. And what we finally got is a saturated solution, because the solution is no more able to dissolve any extra amount of solute in it. So the maximum amount of solute added into this 100 grams of water is X plus Y gram. So it is this maximum amount of solute that is called as the solubility of a solute. So beyond X plus Y gram, if we add anything into this solvent, it remains as an undissolved solute at the bottom of this beaker. So the maximum amount of solute that is taken in grams that can saturate 100 grams of water at a temperature of T degrees Celsius is called the solubility of a solute. So in this case, beyond x plus y gram, if we add any solute, it will not dissolve. This is because x plus y gram is the maximum amount of solute that will saturate this 100 grams of water at a temperature of T degrees Celsius. There are two important points that we need to keep in mind. Solubility will always increase with increase in temperature. This is with respect to the case of a solid solute. So, solubility of most of the solids will increase with increase in temperature. But how does this happen? When we increase the temperature, the molecules move much faster. So, when the temperature is more, the molecules of this solute and also the water molecules move very fast. So when they are moving fast, we know that the intermolecular space is much higher. So when the intermolecular space is much higher, the solute can easily be dissolved by the solvent. Therefore, the solubility increases. Next thing is that we need to remember the solubility of gases will decrease with increase in temperature. Here we have seen solubility of solids will increase with increase in temperature. But in case of gases, the solubility of gases will decrease if we increase the temperature. Why is this so in case of gases? This is because when we increase the temperature, as we have seen in the previous case, the molecules will move much faster. In case of gases, we already know that there is a lot of intermolecular space between the particles. So when the molecules move much faster than that, the gas actually evaporates or it escapes out of the container. In such a case, the solubility decreases. So when we increase the temperature, the molecules will move faster and this will lead to evaporation of the gas and therefore the solubility decreases. So solubility of solids will increase with increase in temperature, but solubility of gases will decrease if we increase the temperature.